Well, gang, welcome back to the Match Grade Podcast. Matt's along here, silently waving at everybody.
That's right.
Today we're talking about an event coming up that we're both going to, and it's the SHOT Show. It's the National Shooting Sports Foundation. They have a trade show every year.
Yep.
And the SHOT is actually an acronym for shooting, hunting, outdoors, training,
trade show.
Yeah.
SHOT.
And it's coming up in January 21st through 24th. It's a big condensed thing. It's huge. Right there in Las Vegas. Wonderful Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Venetian Expo and other associated locations.
Yeah. It's so big. They got to take over. It's Venetian and Caesars, I think it is.
Yes, that's right.
So I'll be taking a couple changes of socks and some couple comfortable shoes. I've been there before. This will be my fourth time going. And Matt is a newbie to this. He's been wanting to go for a couple years, but we finally got it put together.
Yeah.
So
First time going.
I can honestly tell you, the first time I went, I brought home 2 boxes of materials that I just collected. I actually had to find a post office and send it. And it was like $25 a box of stuff. And I think after about a year, I might have gone through most of it. But it's just, there's so much there. It's set up for retailers. Right. Which is, now we have an interest because of the Carry Gear store. So we're carrying some stuff.
We're not just trainers, we are retailers.
But it's also set up, personally, I'm going, I've got a couple of reasons. I know, you're going to go for your reasons. I'll let you talk about those, whatever reasons those are. But I'm going for a couple different reasons because it's just the industry that happens to go there. It's not just the retailers, but there are trainers and there's other people in the associated industry around the shooting sports that go there. And I'm looking to do a lot of networking.
Yeah, it is a big networking opportunity, right? That's one of the reasons to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
you're going to see.
Also, there's gear galore.
Yeah, and I am a bit of a gear geek in a way.
Yep.
So.
Well, we all are. We're gun people, so we like to see what's new, what's out there, what could be better about the stuff we have. We're not going to be able to buy anything there. Even the littlest stuff. There might be giveaways of things.
Right. There's nothing for sale.
Yeah. Unless you place an order.
Stuff, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Hopefully, I won't be placing a large order for anything there. I might make some connections. Well, let's see. So the first year I went as a guest of somebody who had a product they were going. So I got to see it firsthand there. That was the year I got to meet Gaston Glock at the big Glock dinner. That was, I'll tell you, that right there was an experience. I've got you've heard the story, it's just sitting there and all of a sudden this guy just appears next to me and it was one of his security guys.
Oh, okay.
And this guy was probably about 82 feet tall and he was built like a brick wall. And this guy was huge and he was just standing there. And I looked next to him and there's an older gentleman speaking in really impeccable European English, it sounded like, just really good enunciation on things and just talking. And I looked up and I looked down and my head just went, screech. And it went, that's Gaston Glock. And I looked over and...
It looks familiar.
Yeah, and it was interesting because the host... there was a coordinator, liaison for this, and they said, well, he usually makes the rounds of the tables.
Okay.
He tries to get to everybody. And if you get to him, they try to teach us a phrase to say in his native language that basically said, thank you for the dinner. It was a pleasure. It was an honor to be here and a pleasure to meet you, kind of thing. Something along those lines.
Okay.
And I looked up and I couldn't remember one word of what I was supposed to say.
Of course.
And he goes, you have a phrase to tell me, right? And I said, yes, I do. I've totally forgot it. He goes, that's fine. He goes, say it in English. I'm good. And I said, sir, thank you for the dinner. It's an honor to meet you. And I think I said something like, I'll never wash this hand again. Because it was just, and I tell you, the grip that guy had.
Wow.
He was not a frail old guy. Of course, we're talking, it was probably 25 years ago.
Yeah.
20 years ago, probably.
Yep.
It was really before this thing really got going. It was quite a while ago. And I also got to meet Gunny at the same dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was actually kind of cool.
Nice.
I'm sitting there and there's an open seat. All of a sudden, this guy sits down and he goes, "God, my dogs are killing me." I look over and go, "Yeah, it's probably a lot of walking." He goes, "No, I've been up for meat all day." And I look over. I'm like,
"Wait a minute,
Gunny."
I know you.
So we talked for about 10 minutes. He was talking about his kids. Great dude. He was.
Yeah, I've heard that from other people.
Yeah,
that met him.
he's a guy that I would probably like. You ever heard of the thing about who would you be able to want to sit for an hour on a park bench and have a discussion with?
Yeah.
I think that hour would go by really fast.
Probably would have been.
Yeah. So that was my first experience. Second experience, I went with a team of people, and just a bunch of us trainers and everything. And then the third time was just I just went because I was getting into this. I went for like 2 days. Yeah. So this will be number 4. We'll see how it is and what the difference is because it's been a while. It's probably been.
It's been a while since you've gone.
It's probably 7-8 years.
And it's bounced back from Florida back to Vegas in that time.
Yeah.
It's actually expanded in that time. So
Oh my God, it was.
I've heard you can't walk. Like it's almost impossible to walk the whole thing. And we're actually only going to be there like 2.5, well, almost 3 days.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we'll see the whole thing. I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best to.
Well, there's a lot of info that's coming out after January. I think January 3rd or 4th.
Right, they start putting more info as we get closer.
Well, I'm sure there's probably going to be an app because they're all doing it now.
Yeah, I think the app is up, but it's not all populated yet.
Yeah.
If I looked at
So
it.
you can pick your places you want to go to, and it'll lay out like a walking path.
Well, and there's like little mini seminars and things I noticed too. So like booths will do like a talk about something at a specific time.
You're right.
So that's kind of cool. You can go and hit that stuff.
Yeah, I've already kind of. I got to put a list in my phone. I've got a few people I got to meet, some friends, colleagues that I've known over the years.
Sure.
Some industry people. I gotta stop by the NRA booth. I gotta stop by the USCCA booth. Some of the brands that we're carrying, like LEG Technical, I know those guys are going to be there, and
Yeah.
I want to make a point to stop there. Berna, the Hollow Sun guys are going to be there. The Phoenix guys. There's a couple other guys that are going to be there. I'm sure Core's going to be there. They're in the gun industry. They better be there. So, I'm going to be linking up with a lot of the guys that have stuff that we're already carrying.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see if and what those companies have that might be new.
Yeah.
Stuff we're already carrying. So that'll be one of my things to go to those places and see what they have that's coming out potentially.
Right.
So
the funny thing is, like every year leading up to SHOT, there's this hush hush thing, and these rumors get leaked out. Like there's, somebody's like, well, so and so is going to have a new gun at SHOT, but we can't tell you what it is or what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right.
So interesting enough, what I've found in the last couple of years, there's a few things that are actually pre-released. Like officially they're put out before SHOT, but the big release is at SHOT. But I've noticed the rumors have been like heavily clamped down on.
Yeah.
There's not. I was trying to do some research for this podcast, and there is not a lot of a rumor out there. There's a bunch of pre-release stuff, which we're going to talk about. Some stuff we're excited to see. Some stuff we're kind of like, meh, whatever. But there's not a lot of rumor out there right now.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, pre-releasing stuff gets the buzz started.
Yes.
So that people are coming to the booth and they want to start, because,
Right.
Essentially it's sales reps from the companies meeting distributors and retail sales people, not the salesperson at the gun store, but it's the buyer for the gun store.
It's the buyer. That's right.
Right.
Exactly.
Which we're going to be all of the above. So
because we're going to focus tonight on some of the guns and stuff.
Yeah.
I tried to look up gear and different things that we might be able. There's almost nothing out there right now yet. Almost nothing.
Yeah.
So I know there's going to be a lot of new other things other than just guns, but we'll have to see when we get there.
maybe we'll each come home with a new backpack or something that we just couldn't, or we'll have to order one and hope it comes in.
Yeah, we won't be able to come home with order one.
Yeah.
Something.
So actually, I'll throw this out there, guys. We're going to have this video up pretty quick, and if there's something that you're seeing,
or a company you want to hear us maybe talk about, and check out while we're there, we'll do that.
Even though we're not going under media credentials, I'll try and talk to them and take notes and maybe voice record or
talk about it later on. Yeah.
do a little recording, and then we'll put a post-shot show thing together about what we met and who we.
Definitely do a post show.
Oh yeah. So let's go with this. So, my reasons are I just want to do some networking, but I want to see some other stuff that we might want to bring into carry gear.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm kind of the same. I want to network.
Yeah.
Meet some of the people that obviously figure out what we can bring into our store. But I'm also just interested in seeing what's out there, the new stuff, and and even some of the stuff that out there as a New Yorker that I never get to handle.
Right.
So that's another thing that I've been thinking about. Like, hey, there's some cool guns and stuff out there that living in New York I never actually get to see unless I travel somewhere else.
So basically, you're going to be hanging around the suppressor aisle.
That's one of them. Yep, that's one.
Yeah, I think, if I can ever escape to a free state, I'm going to build my Freedom AR. I'm going to build it the way I want it. I'm not going to worry about configuration, and I'm going to apply for that suppressor license. I'm going to get that sucker.
Going much quicker.
Gotta have a dream.
Get one.
Yeah.
So all you gotta do is get somewhere we can own them.
So, give us a little idea, Matt. What are you looking for?
We kind of have a list here. We'll just kind of work our way through a little bit. So Shadow Systems. Everyone knows Shadow Systems. Some people call them Gucci Glocks. But they're great guns.
Glocks for people that don't want to admit they have a Glock.
Glocks who don't want to. People who don't want to admit they have a Glock. But they're coming out with their CR920X, which is their 43X size gun, comparable, although it does take proprietary mags, comped. So it's going to have, as I understand it, the tri-lug comp that they've used on some other guns. On that small gun. I'm just interested to see how it's executed.
Well, I've got the 920.
You have the 920.
The 920p, which has the comp on it, but it's
right.
But I have a problem
smaller
with the pinky finger.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested in handling
so the
that.
X solves that problem with having a longer grip. So yeah.
Right. Maybe I'll
kind of the same.
Trade that in and get that one. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't shoot my current Shadow Systems a lot. I just bought it because the price was actually really good. And
you bought it because everyone else was buying them.
Well, I wanted to try them out. I wanted to see what the buzz was all about. Right. Honestly. It was a nice gun. It looks good. I like the look of it, but it shoots just like a compact 9mm with a comp on it.
Right.
Which I don't know why you'd put a comp on a 9mm.
I was going to say, but it doesn't do a whole lot.
Got to run like 147 grain hot loads just to get it to run right.
Yeah, right.
So what's next on the list? Taurus, what are we looking at?
608 357 Magnum revolver. So Taurus has always kind of had a name for their revolvers, made a name with their revolvers.
Yep.
I actually don't mind Taurus revolvers. I'm starting to like a lot of their semi-auto stuff too. But they're 608 357. Think about Smith & Wesson 686.
Okay.
So a comparable like size and look to that, kind of a full underlug. But yeah, that's an interesting, bigger full frame gun from Taurus.
Bigger chunky butt there. Yeah. Yep. I've shot some Taurus revolvers over the years, and I don't recall ever not being pleased with it.
Yeah,
shooting them.
No, definitely Taurus revolvers. I've always been pretty nice. So
it's almost like somebody from Ruger got an idea and did Taurus, but you remember my first gun was one of the semi-automatics. It was the PT 100 and 101.
You've all made that mistake.
Ooh, yeah, that was
a lot. I will not slam the new Taurus semi-autos. They're far better than the original older ones.
It worked, but man, I got talked into a 40 for that one, and that was a bear.
That's all the mistakes, right? We've all been there.
Well, went with a larger size gun. I guess I could have gotten away with a 9. The Taurus ran fine. I liked the frame mounted decocker and safety lever.
25 years ago, we were all carrying 40s.
Yeah, I know. We have to evolve.
Running around with Glock 23. So,
yep.
Yeah.
So next on the list,
Girsan 2311. I was looking at this. I was like, another double stack 1911
slab side.
However, when I saw the price point, that's what went okay, because I think there's a place in the market for this. It's not a $2, $3, $4 or more $1,000 1911. It's a $1,000, $989.
Really?
Is their MSRP. So it may even come in at street price less than that. So
interesting.
That could be interesting to a lot of people, and it's geared towards the competition world. So yeah, it's something that might be able to get some.
We'll have to check it out and see what makes it competition oriented. Does it come already set up with some of the
a mag funnel?
Okay,
so that was one thing I noticed right away looking at it.
Right,
looking at some pictures, and it is a big slab side slide. So you got that too. So yeah,
I wonder what caliber selection there could be. Because there's
9. I didn't see off the top of my head anything else, but
38 Super and then the 9. 10 millimeter.
There you go.
Maybe.
10 millimeter.
Okay.
Yeah, that would
What's
work.
the new one that everyone's been shooting? It's I'm so out of the loop on that one. There was a new caliber that I'm starting to see a lot of the competitors shooting, and it was a little different.
I'm not sure. I'll have to look.
Maybe it was the 38 Super or something.
38 Supers come back a lot. I know that. There's a lot more people shooting it again. So it's one of those things that kind of goes in waves.
I've shot one. I did shoot one a few years ago.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, the slide speed on the thing was outrageous.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
It's
a high velocity round.
Yeah. So coming down the list, a lever action AR pistol.
Yeah. So Fight Light's been making their lever action, which is sort of an AR upper with a traditional hunting stock and a lever action, and it takes AR-15 mags.
That's going to be interesting.
So that's what they've been making the rifle for a little while now, and they make also a semi-auto that is the same idea. It's an AR upper, but with a hunting stock for the band states people.
For us states.
For the people behind enemy lines.
Yeah.
But now they're doing the pistol, so it's basically got the chop stock. So it's it's officially a pistol from the factory.
That's going to be interesting.
It is interesting. It'll be interesting to run one of those. So
well, we can't get to range day, but maybe next year.
And lever actions, in New York, with having to get a permit for semi-automatics, kind of picking up some steam.
Lever action beats that one.
Yep. So.
All right, next on the list, our favorite. Remember our gun review?
So Ed and I were going back and forth here. Ed's behind the camera, by the way. Hey, Ed. And there's this high point pistol caliber carbine, right? That's been around forever, but they're doing a similar thing. It looks like they're coming out with it as a pistol. So High Point's made pistols for a long time. They're basically taking that chop stock,
okay,
and making it a pistol out of the carbine. So
okay. So it's just a long barrel pistol.
Yes. Yes.
So it's a yeet cannon with a longer barrel.
A yeet cannon with a longer barrel.
Okay.
I guess. Maybe a fun blinker.
Do we have to paint it like the Twisted Tea color again?
Yes.
Like somebody did theirs?
Do we need it? I don't know. But they're coming out with it.
Well, remember, it's not a bill of needs.
Right.
It's a bill of wants.
Bill of wants. Exactly.
All right, next on the list, a Canic.
Yeah.
An MC9L Micro 9. Wow, Micro 9.
So here's the big thing with Canic. They're kind of doing everything right now. They've really kind of filled a space in the market for people who don't like Glocks. And
what is wrong with those people?
They keep coming out with new stuff and it works. I mean, I have to say it works.
Yeah.
So a Micro 9, that is the hot part of the pistol market, is those smaller 9s. So could do very well. I'm interested to see it in person. See how it's executed.
Yeah, we'll add that to this. I'm curious because I've got quite a few people I know that have some Canics, and they, one of them, we both know. She runs Canics in her competitions and her training, and she swears by it.
I know, exactly.
So,
I've seen a few in classes. They work well. I don't really have a problem with them. So yeah. I'm interested to see that.
So I'm seeing a trend here.
Yeah, micro.
Some Micro 9s coming up. Next on our list is an HK CC9 Micro 9.
As I said, that seems to be like one of the hot parts of the market.
I'm guessing CC is going to be for Concealed Carry 9.
Probably.
I'm guessing, the acronyms.
Yep.
All right, so H&K is going to jump into this.
H&K, like always, a little late to the show.
Yeah.
But the bandwagon has joined the discussion, and there's been a lot of buzz. This has actually been out for a little bit. You can get them already. But,
okay.
But I am interested to see it at the show. I've not actually had one in my hand yet. So if you like the VP9, you probably will like this guy.
Yeah.
If you don't like Glocks and want an alternative.
We've had quite a few of our students. In fact, some of our 3 or 4 of our masters come in with a VP9, and I had a chance to shoot them, and they were nice. They
shoot nice. I've seen a ton of VP9s come through classes. Yeah, they always run.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, one of our instructors, I think he owns 3 or 4 now. So there's that.
Why would you own 3 or 4 of the same model gun?
I don't know.
Or a similar gun? That's weird.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
I know. Coming from the guy who just bought his third Glock 17L.
I said you have
Because-
you have a measurable percentage of all the 17Ls in existence.
I might, yeah. I just blipped the radar a little bit. All right, so Kimber Micro 9 next on the list.
Yeah, so Kimber again, trying to keep up in that micro market.
Wait, didn't they already have a Micro 9 out of some sort?
They've tried this a couple times.
Okay. I thought I remember one a couple years ago.
I believe, if I was looking at everything correctly, this gun is actually metal frame. It's not a polymer frame.
Okay.
So that's what's going to distinguish it from their other models. I always have mixed feelings about Kimber, just from experience, seeing them in classes.
They work when they're clean and well maintained.
Yeah.
Because I had the two-tone one, and let's see, did I sell that one or I think I sold that one. I can't remember now. No, I sold the Big Sig. I think I still have the Kimber, and I shot it. I've put a few thousand rounds to that thing probably.
Yeah.
And I noticed a difference when it got dirty. And after a couple 300 rounds, it needed a little TLC.
Well, with the 1911s in particular, you know the bet I make is about 120 rounds, you're going to start seeing malfunction in a session of shooting.
Yeah.
And I almost always win that bet. So, I think that's it for pistols.
Pistols or
I'm
pistol-like
sure there's going to be other ones out there that we're going to hear about that we haven't seen any talk of yet.
Yeah.
But scouring the internet and the forums.
Well, I'm sure our lovely fans are going to be posting down below and
if you guys
giving us some
heard about
ideas.
Pistols that are coming out, or stuff maybe that's only been out a little while that we haven't seen much of, let us know. We'll take a look and report back.
Yeah. Guys, stay tuned for one after SHOT Show when we both get back.
Might be a couple because
there's going to be so much.
Might be 2 or 3 we have.
Yeah, SHOT Show review part 1, and we'll probably you have to cut it off at 3.
Gear, everything.
Yeah, we should probably figure out we're going to segment that out.
The experience.
See if we can find time in between all the travel stuff that's coming up.
Yeah, I know.
So let's go on the. So we've did the handgun stuff. What about the long gun side? What do we got coming up?
So, one more mention on handgun.
Oh,
forgot. It's already out. That's why it's thrown in.
Oh, okay.
The Ruger RXM or the Glock or Gruger.
The Glock or Gluger.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
The Ruger and Glock.
The Glock Ruger
combination.
Ruger Magpul collaboration. Okay. Magpul's making the polymer frame. Ruger's making everything else, which I think is a real good collaboration. Pretty smart.
Which basically means the Ruger is going to be taking Glock mags.
As they would say in their advertising, they take Gen 3 mags.
Yes.
They don't say which one, Gen 3, but everyone knows what that means. Or the Magpul mags, obviously.
Yep.
That are Glock mags. But
that'll be definitely something interesting to look at.
My understanding, priced around $475 on the street.
That's not bad.
So not bad. A little bit lower than most Glocks. If it runs, which it probably will, it's probably a good alternative.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, hopefully, like my experience with Ruger semis has not been stellar.
That's why I think it's a good idea they collaborated with Magpul. Most Ruger semis I'm not a fan of.
So we'll see. I guess we'll see what the reports are, and we'll start seeing them.
Interested to hold one and see one myself. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that is it for handguns. Got a few rifles on here.
What's our first one? A Bushmaster V Radicator?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to buy one just because of the name.
Yeah. So Bushmaster used to be pretty heavy in the varmint rifle segment. And then they got out of it. They got away from it. They were just making tactical guns. And now, and precision guns. And now this is their re-entry. Smallest barrel length, 18 inches, up to 24 inches. So they're really trying to hit heavy barrels.
Okay.
So they're looking for the accuracy for
getting some stable shooters out there.
Varmint shooting, Yep. Pretty neat just to see them come back into that market.
Yeah.
So,
that'll be good. All right. What is this next one? A TriStar?
So there's not a lot of info on here. The TriStar Glock, there's a couple photos. It looks like a Glock 19.
Okay.
Again, is it in that lower price point that might make it more accessible? Does it run? Is it reliable? I mean, if $100 price difference and I get a gun that is reliable versus one that's not, that's a no-brainer.
It might make the difference for some people.
A $350 or $400 essentially Glock that actually works.
Yeah.
That probably has a market. So But yeah, not a lot of info out there, so something to take a look at when we get there.
Yeah, this next one's got me curious. I was seeing some buzz about it. It's a Ruger 1022, but it's got an internal or an integral suppressor.
Yes.
Wow, that was a tongue twister today.
So oddly enough, I would have thought Ruger had done this already. It's all been aftermarket. Mm-hmm. This is actually coming right from Ruger.
Right from Ruger. Yeah.
So that's the big wow. Is like, hey, Ruger's actually doing this themselves. So I forget who they're who's making the actual suppressed barrel.
Yeah. Well, another one that we won't see in New York.
Yes. Well, no, never.
But doesn't mean we can't own one in a different state.
And then I'm going to mention this before we mention the last one.
Yeah.
It's a shotgun, so we're talking long gun shotgun.
Okay, yep.
I've always wanted a true coach gun, side by side, hammers, the whole deal, and
for your trench coat and spurs.
Yes, exactly, cowboy action shooting. But I've
when you
never
ride your
found
stagecoach through Webster,
that was in a price point that I liked, or that the quality was one that I was willing to pay.
Okay.
So there, either the quality wasn't great, but the price was good, or the price was high, and I just wasn't going to pay that.
Okay.
Heritage Arms, which I do have a Heritage revolver, and it actually works very well, is coming out with a coach gun called the Coach Whip shotgun in 12 gauge.
Okay.
Hammered. It's got a modernized finish, but it looks like an Old West gun.
So it's got that old
It's got the case
look to it.
Case color hardening. and
Okay.
everything, yeah.
Okay.
At about $800 to $900. So that's not bad, because when you look at usually the higher end coach guns, you're in the $1,500, $2,000.
Okay.
So I'm interested in that. I want to hold it and see.
Yeah.
And that might be going on my personal list. So we'll see. We'll see.
Find some way to get one, right?
So that's kind of the most, that I see.
Yeah.
But the one that is persistent,
Yeah, it's the rumor,
out there.
right? It's still out there.
the buzz,
Yeah.
is the Glock carbine. And I'm not sure. The stuff I saw, whether it was just wishful thinking or rehash stuff from years past.
Well, it's definitely not April 1st where they came out with the Glock 1911 on April
Glock
Fools,
1911,
right?
Or if there really is some buzz, there's some talk, because the next Glock model to come out should be the Glock 50.
If they're running up the numbers, yes.
Right, the 49 was the last one they introduced.
Mm-hmm.
So will that be the Glock 50 carbine?
Interesting.
Who knows, right?
I don't know. I can't. No, honestly, this is not a joke. I cannot think of another combination of frame length, height, slide length, caliber.
Put my brain on that, and I can't.
That
even.
Glock could come up with another. I guess you could say design
Another
or
model.
Another model.
Yeah.
They've got everything.
Yeah, they've got the 47 was like the last thing that everyone was asking for.
Right.
They really wanted, they wanted what the 49 is. And the other thing a lot of people have been asking for is a Glock carbine. Now, the other question too, there's a split there too. Some people want a Glock pistol caliber carbine,
Okay.
which I think would make sense for them to come out with. But a lot of people want a Glock like AR style.
AR style carbine.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing: since Ruger now has a Glock clone,
Do you think Glock's going to do the same
maybe they're
thing?
going to have a Ruger carbine clone.
There we go. Maybe they'll reverse it the other way.
I'll reverse it the other way. Right. Exactly.
It'll be a rock
A rock.
or a ruck.
A rock. Oh gosh.
The internet is going to destroy all those names because we just love blending names and doing weird stuff.
So
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of guns to look at, and that's probably just a drop in the bucket.
I'm sure it is.
We're going to be overwhelmed. I remember the last time I went, I was planning on going 4 days, and I was burned out with meeting people, and I was going for like 2 or 3 hours, and I was getting out, and I was going hiking.
Just get out of it, yeah.
And I'm bringing my hiking gear this time too, in case I just get, you know what, I'm done. Let's go. I'm out.
Nice.
See you later, Matt.
Nice.
You can finish walking around. Tell me what you find. I'm gone. And I know how much you love people, so you might be tapping out pretty quick too.
Yeah,
We might have to
I'll focus on the stuff,
not saturate.
because I love people.
Yeah. But yeah, and I'm also thinking, we know there's going to be gear there. We know there's going to be outdoor gear. There's going to be tactical gear. There's going to
It's
be
not
stuff.
just guns. It's a whole it's the
Yeah.
shooting outdoor
Yeah.
trade show. So there is backpacks and clothing and you name it, it's there. So
register for a bunch of drawings. Oh, that's the other thing. One thing I got to tell you is go on. I gotta resurrect mine because I had one from a while ago. But go on like Gmail and create an email just for SHOT Show.
that's a good idea. So everything will go into that.
I'm gonna go to that. Yeah,
that's a great idea.
When I went to the NRA meeting, I had one. It was all set up just for that. And anytime I had to leave it, I put it on there. That way, if I didn't want to get any more mail, I just deleted the account.
Put it on there. Yeah.
And I got to check to see if I can reactivate it because I haven't used it in
Lord knows
long
I
time.
get enough spam as it is. So
yeah, no, I think I get enough email. I probably get 10% of the stuff you get.
probably.
But you're plugged into a whole lot of different
Things.
setups than I am.
I get that's okay.
But yeah, so gang, my hope is, my goals is I'm going to meet up with a bunch of guys that I know, meet some new guys. There's already a few contacts through current contacts that I'm going to be making. So I'm going to be kind of expanding the network a little bit. And some of these guys are pretty influential. I've talked to a couple buddies of mine, and they're like, "No, you need to meet this guy. Yeah. You need to meet this guy." So I'm going to definitely run into them. Some of my friends that I've met along the way that have moved from the GSSF up into the Glock sales world, I know they're going to be there.
Yeah.
So I'll be definitely running into them. Who knows what shenanigans will happen after the SHOT Show and dinners and getting together with people, but we'll see how that goes. But in the end, I'm actually looking forward to getting back there. This may or may not be a yearly occurrence. It is a little bit of finagling to set aside the time to get there. But in the end, making the connections and seeing all the new gear and seeing the forefront of stuff, especially now that we're in the retail world with the Carry Gear store.
Right, that puts us in a different realm.
Yeah, we can look at things differently. Yeah. So, I suspect you and I are going to be comparing notes and getting all jazzed up and all geeked up about something, and then we're going to have to get more room and more cabinets. So, let's see. Everybody, here's what I want you to do. Give us some ideas of what you want us to go visit. Visit SHOT Show through us. Right. Again, I don't know how much video we can take, pictures we can take. We might be able to get away with some, but, there are some limitations on it. But, we'll talk to a lot of people. We'll take some notes on stuff, and then what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll just run down the stuff. We'll keep this list that we started with.
Yeah.
And then we'll break it out and we'll have...
Add whatever else to it that we see people...
Yeah.
Else.
What other gear we see, what other things we see coming down the line, and what do we hear, right? But yeah, share with us what you'd like us to go check out, because you're our network too, and if you can do some research and you can say, hey, I heard this is coming out, or this is going to come out, or can you find out if this is going to happen?
We'll work on it.
We'll see what we can do. All right. Other than that, Matt, take us out.
Hey guys, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and mash that notification button. All right. Thanks again. See you on the next one.